Welcome back to Same Bright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this flared spaghetti strap gown, as you can see right there. So this gown is really trending and is made with asoke, as you can see right there. So I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks to cutting out this flare and placing the pattern exactly at the center front and at the center back, as you can see right there on the video, on the thumbnail. So if this is what you want to learn, please stay till the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So to begin this tutorial, we'll be making use of our regular ADIRE fabric. So this ADIRE fabric comes at 4 yards, okay? So it comes at 4 yards, just like Ankara comes at 6 yards. So once you get the ADIRE fabric at 4 yards, this is my 4 yards as a whole, okay? So if I have to take the measurements from here, I have 4 yards, okay? Then it comes at length of about 53, but it's not up to 60 inches. So this is the yardage part, okay? So if I want to measure how many inches of this ADIRE, I'll just come from here and take my measurement at 36 per yard. Then I got 4 yards. So what I'm going to do now is to pick up each end of it. Can you see? I'm picking each end of it this way, and I'm going to put it together. So if I put it together, I will have it at 2 yards right now. Can you see? So one thing with this ADIRE is that this ADIRE has a pattern. So if you notice, you can see we have a broad pattern. So you have to make sure that this broad pattern is at the center front of this fabric, and that is what I actually did now when folding this 4 yards to 2 yards. Then if I have to turn it to the back, this is the pattern. So automatically, once you put it in, the pattern falls in place. Once you fold it, the pattern falls in place. So but you can just make sure you have it, okay? If you actually want them to fall in place, just arrange it appropriately. So I've done that right now. So if I've done that now, then I'll determine which part I want to serve as the upper part. So the folded part, because it's patternless, I am going to use it as the down part of this dress. So this part that I've already put together and arranged, because I need this pattern, is going to be the upper part of this dress. So I'll just go ahead and put it in another fold. So I'll just bring it and put it in another. So if I put it in another fold, can you see what I have here? The pattern is now exactly at the center front. So we have to make this dress to have the pattern appropriate. So I'm done arranging, as you can see. So this is what I have once I'm done arranging it. So I made sure I have my pattern at the center front, okay? So now the next thing I want to do is we want to start up this measurement. So this pattern, this is where it's curving, and I want it to be at my under bust. So because I want it to start at my under bust, I'll simply place my under bust measurement, which is 14, right there. Can you see? So this is my under bust, and that is where I want the pattern to start from. So now, since I have the pattern at the under bust, this point, for the front, I'm going to off by 6 inches. So we are going to off this dress by 6 inches. So I'll just mark my 6 inches off, and that will be my starting point. So I'll just place my tape here at 6 inches. The strap is going to be from this point. So just look at what I'm doing. So from that 6 inches I marked, I'm going to take the full length of this dress. So the full length of this dress, I'm using 60 inches. So here you can see my 60 inches. That is my full length. so I can go ahead and make it flow and flow and flow as I desire. So as you can see right there on the video, is actually flowing. So I'm going to take the whole length of this tape, which should be at 62. So it's better you have an excess right here than you have a shortage. So I'll just mark the line till I get to this point. Can you see that? Okay, so now I'll mark the line till I get to the end of the folded fabric. So that becomes the length of this dress. So now we are going to return back to the upper piece, because that is where we want to start creating our pattern. So the determining factor is this pattern. Very important. This pattern, if you want it to be exactly the way it is right there on the thumbnail, I noticed that this shape of the pattern started from the underbust for the front. So that is why I have to place my tape there before I take my 6 inches off. So this is my line of 6 inches off. And that is where we are going to create our strap, everything. So for this particular flare, we are going to use a different method for it. It's not the regular placing in bias, because if you place this on bias, you will not have this design. Okay, this pattern will not fall at the center front and at the center back. So this is the method you are going to use. So at these 6 inches we offed. So I want to explain what I actually did here right now. So this is the line of our 6 inches off. So at that 6 inches off, this is 6 inches. Then I measured my chest line at 9 inches. So you need your chest line, and this is my chest line. So now these are the lines we need: your 6 inches for off, your chest line, and the length of the dress. So the next thing we are going to do now is to measure on the 6 inches line the strap to strap measurement. So the strap to strap measurement is simply place your tape on one bra strap to the next bra strap. So whatever you have, for me, my strap to strap measurement when I wear my bra from one bra strap to the other is 10 inches. So I will divide that 10 inches by 2. So if I do that, I will have 5 inches. So I'll simply place my tape at the center front, and this is the center back too, and I'll mark my 5 inches. So this is exactly what I did right here. So after that, I'll come over to the chest line measurement. Of course, you know how to achieve your chest line when you are making your normal dress. So mine is always 9 inches. So I'll place my tape from the center front, and I'm going to measure my bust circumference divided by 4. So my bust circumference divided by 4, placing it from the center front, I have 9 inches. So this is my 9 inches. Sorry, I have 10 inches. So I simply mark my 10 inches. So once I've marked that, I'm going to connect from my strap to strap measurement to my bust circumference divided by 4. So I just simply come in with my pattern ruler this way. So I just go in this way. So this fabric is actually wobbling, but not to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is to simply add the seam allowance I'm going to use to fold this part. So I'm going to add my seam allowance at 1/2 inch, because we are going to use our bias to tape it. Then I will now go ahead and connect from the seam allowance to the strap to strap to the bust circumference measurement. So I'll go ahead and do what? Connect it. Okay. So this is the connection of my armhole. Alright, so after adding the 1.5 inches, the next thing we want to do is to create the desired neckline. So if you want your neckline to be squared, you just simply cut it and add your seam allowance squared. Then if you want it to be a V neckline, I'll just show you what you are going to do. So from this strap to strap, if you want it a V neckline, simply come down from this 6 inches, just come down by 1.5 inch. So once you come down by 1.5 inch, you place your tape straight and connect for a V if you want it a V. Okay, then if you want it rounded at this 1.5 inch, just simply place your pattern ruler from there. Okay, of course that is the one we are working with, so I'll just mark the one we are working with. So this is rounded. Then if you need it a sweetheart neckline, you just place it this way, but you have to, if it's a sweetheart, you have to go down a little more. Okay, so you can do like connecting to the chest line. Okay, that's if you want it a V, a sweetheart. So it has to go down a little more. So we'll be working with what we have right here at that 1.5 inch. So we are working, we are leaving it rounded. So it depends on you, it depends on how deep you want it to be. So if you want it a little more rounded, you can use the inner cup part of this curve ruler. Can you see? We can now do what? Connect it a little below what we have. So it's all your choice and your design. So I will leave it the way it is right here. So when we are cutting, I'll cut from the strap into the rounded part and cut the armhole. So the next thing we will do, from this 1.5 inch we added to the bust circumference, divide by 4. I'll take it again to be sure I have 10 inches plus 1.5. Okay, this is my 1.5 inches. So I'm going to connect this 1.5 all the way this way. Can you see? I'll connect it this way like I'm making an A line. I believe you understand. I'll just connect it, follow this line. So I'll just bring in my straight ruler and I'm going to do connect. So I believe you are seeing I'm connecting this line. If you have a very long ruler, I will advise you use the longer ruler. So I'll take it all the way to the hem. You can see where we have our hem. That is where I'm going to take it. It's time for us to start cutting right now. So you can see what we have. Our neckline is there, the armhole is there, the side is there with the seam allowance. So I'll just go ahead and do this. I'll go over to the hem. Okay, so let us cut the hem where we have we mark the length. So we mark the length very long. Like I said, if 62 is too much for you, you can feel free to reduce it after you are done with the dress. It's better you have an excess than you have a shortage. So you can see the hem part. So this hem part, I'll just direct my scissors. I'm heading towards the, like I told you, I'm cutting it like an A line. So I'm actually heading towards the marking we made. Can you see that? So you can see where I'm heading to. So make sure you add your seam allowance, so at the end of the day you don't have a shortage. So right here I'm going to cut because I have my seam allowance already added at 1/2 inch. So I'll just go ahead and cut. So once I get to this line, I'll add a seam allowance here. Can you see? I just added 1/2 inch seam allowance here. So you can see what I have right here. So you make it as round as you wish. So you can see this is what we have for this dress. So the next we are going to make for this dress is the facing. So the facing, I'll place this on top right now. So I'll show you how to create the front and back facing. So this is what we have. So you have to go that to the end of it. So let us cut out the facing. So to create the facing for this dress, I come in with my pieces of ADIRE fabric. So the ADIRE fabric already is on fold. Okay, so on fold I have it at 7 inches on fold. So this 7 inches on fold, I'm going to fold it again. Okay, so once I fold it, I'll just bring in this. Can you see? I'll bring in this and place it, making sure I align this. Can you see that? So I'll pin it to the center front to match up. You can see. So the 7 inches will appropriately take care of this. So I'll just pin it, then we'll cut. So now you can see I'm done pinning. So I'll just go ahead and follow the side. Just follow the shape of the armhole. Take it to this, and then take it to your desired neckline. Can you see that? So that is what we have right here on the shape. So like I said, if you want the neckline a little more deeper, it's all your choice. You can still go in a little more deeper. Okay, so it's all your choice. If you want it shallow, it's all your choice. So we are done, and we have our facing right here. So the facing here we are going to use it to face both front and back. So now we are going to cut out the strap, then we'll proceed to the sewing. I've cut out my strap right now. The width of my strap is 1.5 inches, okay, and the length of my strap is 12 inches. So you have to add some allowance of 1 inch, making it 13 inches to stitch. Okay, so now I'll put it together, and I'm going to sew at 0.5 inch, or you can sew at 0.25, which is a quarter. So it depends on how big or how small you want your strap to be. So how big or how small will determine how many inches you are going to sew. But for me, I'm sewing at a quarter. Okay. So I've turned one of my strap, and this is how I did it. I have to first stitch. If you see, I stitched close, then I stitched to the end. So I stitched at 0.75. So you can make it half an inch if you really want it smaller. So whichever way, you will use your needle and thread. This is my needle and thread knotted. So just go over here and secure it. That is the easiest way you can turn this if you don't have a loop turner. So once I've secured it, I'll use the down part of the needle. You have to open it up this way and do what? Insert. Can you see? So as you're inserting it, it's moving, but don't allow the needle to move into the loop till you get to the end of it. Can you see? So I've gotten to the end, and I'll simply slip it this way and push out the needle from here. So it's as simple as that. Then you cut out. So now this is my strap, and this is what I'm going to use to sew to the dress right now. So I come with my fabric right now, which we have cut, and I'm taking off my pins. So I'll pick up each of my facing. So the facing you are supposed to have here is 2. Can you see that? I have 2 of this facing. So I'll pick up each fabric. So if I open each of it, this is what I will have. So this is my, of course, this is the right side. So make sure you note the right side. So right side for back and for front. So for each, I have 2 of it. I'm going to place my, you can see how I placed it. So it has to be like this. Then I secure with my pin at the tip of the bra to bra. Okay, so just make sure you push 0.5. So you have 0.5 to stitch the armhole around. So push it in. That's why I'm pushing it in. So after that, I'll pick up the next strap. I'll come over here. I'm working on only one of these, so I'll come in and leave another 0.5 inch for stitching. and I'll secure. You can see how I'm pinning. In a way I can still stitch. Then I'm going to pick up one of my facing. This is right side. I'll place right side to right side. So I'm working on one, like I said. So make sure you align it and pin. I'll align this part also and pin. Then I'll finally secure them with my pin around. So I'll go to my machine now. I'll sew to the end and sew the armhole to the end. This is what we have at the end of the day, as you can see. So I've stitched from each end to the end, and I've stitched from this end to the end as well. So I made sure everything is stitched accordingly. So the next thing I'm going to do, since I have this rounded edge, I'll just go ahead and make little notches. Okay, so you can just make little notches to the armhole. So after that is done, I'll go ahead and do what? Flip it this way and flip all the seams and top stitch. I can do that for this part on the part of the facing and top stitch, then run close up or hem this part. That's what I'm going to do. So let me do that right now. This is what I have for the first one. Can you see that? So I'll still give it a good press. So the next thing I will do is to come back with the back, or whichever way. The next one, I've already marked the wrong side. You have to match right side to right side. So once you have done that, make sure that this strip is straight and is not twisted. Can you see? I placed it making sure it's not twisted. So I pick up the edge of it. You just fold it, pick up the edge of it, and then you can see what I did right here. So you have to go in by 0.5 to give room for the armhole stitching. Then I'll secure it with my pin. I'll do the same. You can see that I'll fold it this way, pick up this, and do what? Secure it with my pin. You come in by 0.5 and secure with your pin. So once you have secured it with your pin, you are free to place the facing on top of it the normal way we did. Can you see? So I'll pick up my facing. This is the right side. I'm going to place right side to right side and repeat the same thing I did on the other side. So that is what I will do right away. I'm done with the neckline right now. This is the facing. I've stitched close, and this is the other facing, and this is our strap. Okay, so now I'll pick up this front and back. I'll match it up at the, make sure the lines matches. I'll secure with my pin at this point and stitch from beginning of the facing to the end. I'll do the same for this. I'm done stitching. So this is the facing and this is how I stitched. So I stitched at 3/4, 0.75. Remember we added 1.5, but I stitched at 3/4. Okay, so we have 3/4 inches to the down from the hem, from the facing. That is what I did right here as well. So now I'm going to use my iron to open up here. So once I open it up, I'll be either tacking it this way. You can just go with needle and thread and tack around, but for me I love to use my hemming gum. So this is what the hemming gum looks like. So as I'm ironing now, I just place it carefully below so it sticks to the other part and relaxes nice. I've given it a good press. So I've pressed it down. As you can see, we have the straps. Everything is looking nice and wonderful. So if you want to embellish, just come in with your applique, any one of your choice. Just go ahead and tack to the front, so you'll be able to use that part to note the front and the back. So that is how I come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe this class was helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you once again. See you in the next class. Bye.